University friends, faculty, staff, students, alumni, Board of Trustees, and honored guests, welcome to a historic day for our beloved institution, the University of Dubuque. We are honored by your presence on this momentous occasion. Please allow me to offer a special welcome to the honorable members of the University of Dubuque Board of Trustees. Your tireless work on behalf of this institution is appreciated. Welcome to our academic colleagues and official delegates representing institutions who join us in celebrating this chapter of our history. Delegates from other institutions in attendance today are Dr. Tom Castle from Mount Mercy University, President Dave Doms from Northeast Iowa Community College, Dr. Christina Campos Davis from Trinity University, Dr. Rebecca Ertzman from Wartburg College, Dr. Dan Festa from Union Presbyterian Seminary, Kim Langley from Coe College, Dr. Charlie McCormick, Schreiner University, Dr. Sarah Nessler, representing Grinnell College, Dr. Amy Novak from St. Ambrose University, Dr. Sarah Nitro from Loras College, Reverend Dr. Cheryl Peterson from Wartburg Seminary, Dr. Ronnie Prevost, Dr. Andrew Palmerville from Louisville Seminary. And welcome to the distinguished members of the Platform Party who are recognized in the program and will be speaking today. Welcome to the civic and business leaders of Dubuque and the surrounding tri-state area, whose partnership are vital to our mission. And most importantly, welcome to the dedicated faculty, staff, students, and alumni of the University of Dubuque. Today, we celebrate the inauguration of the 12th president in the University of Dubuque's long and storied history, Dr. Travis Frampton. And today we also celebrate a renewed purpose, guided by a mission and a spirit that is uniquely our own. In this moment, we are emboldened by the University of Dubuque's timeless motto, many gifts, one spirit. This spirit that has given the university gifts such as Rustin, Steffens, Whetstone, Buchholz, Zucker, Welch, George, Laprota, Couchman, Chalmers, Peterson, Argia, Meriwether, and Bullock has now given us Frampton. President Frampton's many gifts include an embodiment of our collective spirit, a strong sense of purpose, and a dedication to the mission of the University of Dubuque that provides us with renewed energy and significant momentum. Now, as many of you know, our president's path to this stage was, shall we say, a journey of commitment. President Frampton didn't just arrive here, he acclimated. He showed up. He listened. He ate Finzel's sweet corn. He learned that not every soft drink is called a Coke. And he embraced the values of perseverance, resilience, and holistic student formation that defines this special spot in Iowa. President Frampton's forward-looking mindset has quickly defined his tenure and reintroduced a powerful concept to our campus dialogue, courageous adventurings. The vision President Frampton offers us is a whisper of inspiration that is definingly clear. It is a belief that if you build it, they will come. Not just students, but community, opportunity, prosperity, and transformation. You don't have to look far for proof that these courageous adventurings are already yielding extraordinary fruit. President Frampton is firmly rooted in our mission. He respects our history and looks to it for inspiration. His feet are grounded in the present, yet his vision is constantly scanning the new blue horizon for opportunities ahead. Rivers of opportunity that can only be forged and developed by the beautiful mosaic of talent from every student, every faculty, every staff member, and every alum that collectively make the University of Dubuque a singular and cherished institution. It is the perfect modern articulation of our historic motto, many gifts, one spirit. This motto is also the perfect description of our historic new president, the 12th president of the University of Dubuque, Dr. Travis Frampton. Many gifts, one spirit. University friends, faculty, staff, students, alumni, board of trustees, and honored guests. Welcome to a historic day for our beloved institution, the University of Dubuque.
If you would, please pray with me. Lord God, merciful and mighty, you have revealed yourself as God the Father, Son, and Spirit. We call upon you in the name of Christ to make yourself and your presence known to us on this particular day. We call upon your name because you first called us. You called UD into existence, birthing it as a child of the church. It is your call that gives us life and purpose. We are grateful for the meaningful work of all those who have come before us. For you, Lord God, have sustained this place through so many. Through many people's hard work, through their generosity. We praise you for the many students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends who have been associated with this school and all the ways they have supported it, the work of your creation. With grateful hearts, we also give thanks for all that comes from you. If there is any value in this work, in this institution, in the tasks of educating and informing, it is derived from you, the maker of heaven and earth. You, the Lord God who demonstrated and sealed your love in becoming flesh and reconciling us back to you. From you, Holy Spirit, the one Spirit who animates so many gifts. So in such thanksgiving and praise in your name, this is our request. Pour out your Spirit upon us. Pour out your Spirit upon President Travis Frampton. May we all, and may President Frampton, see the sacredness of this moment so that we may see all the days ahead in this place as sacred because of how we seek to have you dwell within us and among us. For such a time as this, you have called President Frampton here. Give to him wisdom and understanding. So lead him, I pray, that when he asks, who is sufficient for such a task as this, he would know and remember that it is your grace which is sufficient. Provide strength and courage to him and increase his heart for you that he may serve the mission of UD all the more. Because UD is a child of the church. May we know of how you, lifting your countenance, your face toward us, may we know that so we may never be tempted to hang our head in shame, for we are yours. Grant to us the gift of faith, that we may stand in the faith, face the future with faith, that we may kneel to your will, and that our hands and feet may ever be put to work for your glory, to our good, and to the benefit of all who are blessed to come to and through this place. In the name of the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
In the summer of 2023, our board established a presidential search committee consisting of 5 trustees, a former seminary dean, VP for advancement, and a math professor. We engaged AGB search consultants with extensive national experience. We created a profile of the kind of person that we were looking for and what skills that person would have. Our top priorities were this person had to be a person of faith and also agree to move forward with the board initiatives that were also always under consideration. AGB narrowed the field to 39 applicants. After lengthy discussions and deliberations, we chose 8 candidates for off-campus interviews. Enter candidate Dr. Frampton, brandishing history books of the UD history. He was giving our committee a history lesson of our school. Very thorough. He became one of 3 on-campus interviewers. We also did a family tour of the campus to sell the family on our beautiful campus. His history: he was provost of Schreiner University in Texas. His program growth included 10 new degrees, which included a Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine and Aviation. His background exceeded our expectations, and he had 3 degrees in religion from very top institutions. He is humble, curious, thoughtful, and engaging. He has embraced strategic initiatives under discussion, and we are so thankful that President Frampton will lead us forward as the university of the future. But even more important, I want to thank Tanya and Brody for agreeing to move to the ever-changing weather of Iowa from the warmth of Texas. Thank you.
You can take the boy out of Snyder, my father used to say, referencing the small rural West Texas town where I grew up, and not far from Abilene, where President Frampton was a longtime faculty member and administrator. You can take the boy out of Snyder, he'd say, but you can't take Snyder out of the boy. And I think that's as true of our disciplinary affiliation as it is with the town in which we grew up. Now that I'm president of Schreiner, I'm far removed from my disciplinary work in folklore and folklore, which is the discipline in which I earned my PhD. But you can't scrub that stuff off this boy either. I still think in those terms, and President Frampton must have known when he invited me to bring greetings today on behalf of the college and university delegates that at some points my comments would veer off into myths, folktales, or legends. Spot on, President Frampton. So tricksters get all the attention. Coyote and Raven, after all, they move the plot along. Anansi gets all the laughs. Puck gets the best lines in the play. Loki even got his own mini-series on Disney+. How in the world did he do that? But if I had to choose my favorite mythological archetype, it would probably be the balancer. It's not easy being the balancer, keeping the world on its axis, not letting hubris rule the day or the just be undone. And it's not easy to be the balancer because nobody really likes them, given that balance is always situated from a point of view. And so it's probably not by accident that in the ancient Greek tradition, the god who does most of the balancing is known as Nemesis, a word that doesn't have a lot of positive connotations today, though it originally meant the distributor of fortune. It is hard to be the balancer. Dr. Hoffman, I think the most difficult job on any college campus is the job of the provost and the vice president for academic affairs. The provost balances competing demands and expectations and positions between faculty and students who dispute the cause of the failing grade, between the president and the faculty who thinks the other's vision of the school is one-dimensional and unrealistic, between the alums who want the university to be like it was in their now romanticized memory, and the prospective students and their family who believe they can intuit the emerging credentials and experiences and knowledge students will need a decade from now. And I think every provost who has done the job well then becomes a sort of avatar of Vishnu, my favorite mythological balancer of them all. Vishnu, who keeps the universe steady on its axis. Vishnu, who regularly enters ordinary time and space to restore, not eliminate, but restore the balance between good and evil. Vishnu, who holds a conch shell in his fingers, symbolizing the interconnected, spiraling, cyclic existences of life. Be a balancer is what I should have told Travis I was asking him to do when we invited him to be our provost at Schreiner University. Be our Vishnu. Who would have thought Vishnu would show up in Kerrville, Texas? I know the comparison isn't perfect. Vishnu's almost always depicted as blue, totally blue, and President Frampton is, well, not blue, but I see him wearing a lot more of that since he's moved here. And in addition to balancing the more conventional demands of the provost role, we threw in a pandemic and a crippling winter storm into the mix. But the worse things get, the more vigorously Vishnu dances. And Travis danced into existence all sort of positive consequences as a result of these terrible conditions. New technologies, new pedagogies, new term lengths, new majors, until balance was achieved again and students were put in their very best possible place to pursue their growth and development. And so, President Frampton, from your old friends in Texas, the college and universities represented here today through their delegates, and your new friends in Iowa, we ask you to be Vishnu still. In the same way you have maintained balance before, we ask you to hold the University of Dubuque and all of higher education in that same sort of balance through your presidency, between innovation and tradition, between sanctuary and challenge, between preciousness and relentlessness. Be again that which you are, until we sing of you as that Bhagavad Gita sang of Vishnu. Wherever righteousness wanes and unrighteousness increases, I send myself forth for the protection of the good and for the destruction of evil and for the establishment of righteousness. I come into being age after age.
Good afternoon. I'm very proud to be here today. On behalf of the 25 member institutions and presidents of the Iowa Association of Independent Colleges and Universities, it's my honor to welcome Dr. Frampton to Iowa and to our association. Almost 30 years ago, when I was the executive director of the Iowa Board of Regents, there was a significant concern among higher education community that the University of Dubuque may not continue as a private college. Fast forward to today, and that fear seems almost ridiculous and unbelievable. The combination of a transformational leader, trustees who made and continue to make significant contributions, not just monetary contributions, but also contributions of their time and talent and experience, the understanding and work of the UD faculty and staff, and the strong support of the wonderful Dubuque community have made the University of Dubuque one of the premier private colleges in the state of Iowa. And now, under the leadership of Dr. Frampton, UD is poised to enter a new era of excellence, and I believe Dr. Frampton is the perfect leader to accomplish this important mission. Again, I am proud to welcome Dr. Frampton to our association as a friend and a colleague.
President Frampton, honored guests, members of the UD family, it is indeed an honor to bring greetings this afternoon on behalf of the 50 institutions that comprise the Association of Presbyterian Colleges and Universities, and to welcome Dr. Travis Frampton as the 12th president of the University of Dubuque. Grounded in faith and driven by discovery. APCU members seek to educate whole people for the whole world by embracing academic freedom, nourishing spiritual and social maturity, inspiring a commitment to service, and pursuing excellence in all they do, because our world deserves nothing less. The University of Dubuque exemplifies these missional aspirations in many ways, including initiatives such as APEX, the Went Character Initiative, Walter Woods and Prairies, and, most recently, the bold decision to open the first medical school in Iowa in 125 years. Together, these initiatives, along with many others, validate UD's commitment to the pursuit of excellence in scholarship, its challenge to students to live lives of worth and purpose, and its emphasis on preparing students for service to the church and to the world. UD has come a long way from its humble beginnings as the German Theological School of the Northwest. To continue thriving in today's volatile higher education environment, you'll need a leader who not only embraces the broad and sacred mission of this institution, but witnesses it each and every day through word and deed. I believe that the University of Dubuque has found just such a person in Travis Frampton, and I congratulate the search committee on its choice. In closing, Travis, I'll leave you with this familiar bit of wisdom that the Apostle Paul shared in his letter to the church in Rome. It speaks to the essence of our Reformed tradition and to the work that lies ahead of you. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Only then will you be able to discern God's will, what is good, what is pleasing, what is perfect. On behalf of the APCU Board of Directors and all of our member institutions, I offer congratulations to you and to Tanya and to the University of Dubuque on this historic occasion. May God bless you with the patience to listen, the wisdom to discern, and the courage to act. Godspeed, my friend.
What a beautiful event this is. I mean, I can't wipe the smile off my face because I'm watching all of you smile this entire time. It is just so fantastic to be here to celebrate this, President Frampton. So I'm here to offer the welcome from the city of Dubuque officially and the people of Dubuque to President Frampton to the University of Dubuque. And as I was thinking about this, I was thinking about our shared name, of course, and the fact that not only do we share a name as a city in the University of Dubuque, but we also have this shared history. And it was already mentioned by Dr. Hoffman as a storied history. And before we were in here, I was standing out in the gallery out there taking a look at the wall of history for the University of Dubuque and just seeing some of those moments. And remembering when we were talking about the University of Dubuque as a place that was near death's door. I remember that as having parents who graduated from here and now in-laws who graduated from here, and watching the school struggle in the same way that the city of Dubuque was struggling at the time. And then I looked left when I was standing out there, and I want you to look at this when you go out. So when you go out those doors and you go left, there's a sign that's sitting right over there that says, "The Moment for Momentum." And it reminded me of the last time that I got the opportunity to stand on this stage, and that was to announce, or to help to announce. I didn't really make any announcements that day. Just to be here for the announcement of the first medical school in 125 years in Iowa, right here in Dubuque, in downtown Dubuque, by the University of Dubuque. And thinking about the excitement of that day and how much momentum there is. And now we have the momentum of this week and the announcements that happened this week too. And then I remember the moment that I first met President Frampton, and just there's a sparkle in your eye of a little bit of mischief, but a whole lot of excitement. And and I looked at him and I thought, man, this is definitely the guy. And I was thinking, how are they ever going to replace President Bullock when this first went around? Because of all the vision that was here. And not just from President Bullock himself, but the vision of the Board of Trustees, the vision of the alumni, the vision of students, the vision of community leaders coming together to do all this work. And it is incredible where we sit right now. And I agree that we have the perfect president for this moment. So, President Frampton, Welcome to Dubuque.
So I want to first thank President Frampton for the invitation to speak on behalf of the faculty here at the University of Dubuque. In a very short 16 months, and yes, it's only 488 days, President Frampton has shown us what it means to lead with authenticity and a little sprinkle of humor, clarity, and an openness that will define our future. He arrived on campus with a deep interest in knowing the history of the university and certainly a level of respect and appreciation for the trials and successes of our nearly 175 years. His arrival brought fresh ideas, but most importantly, an attitude of positivity and a renewed sense of purpose. He's defining a vision for the university that embraces and weaves in the entire UD community, with students at the heart. President Frampton is challenging us to think differently, to collaborate more intently, and to embrace change with confidence. His leadership is not just strategic, it's deeply human. He continues to remind us that change and innovation is not just about the idea, it's about creating space for others to thrive, for others to be and become. What's most remarkable is how quickly he's become part of our story. Walking through the halls of the Smith Welcome Center in MTech on your very first day, you joined us not just as the president, but as a collaborator, a listener, and a visionary. You ask questions that matter, sharing stories that connect. Your character is evident in every interaction, thoughtful, intentful, and quietly powerful. President Frampton, our stories are now intertwined. We're excited to support you and stand beside you as we write the next chapter or chapters together. Thank you for outwardly sharing your gratitude for our past, so much joy for the present, and your purpose and passion for driving the momentum for our future. On behalf of myself, and most importantly the rest of the faculty, officially we welcome you and congratulate you.
For most people, change is difficult and sometimes very stressful. As the University of Dubuque searched for a new president, this was evident on campus. As I came into the office one afternoon, I found my colleagues in the conference room watching out the windows that face Algona and Grace Street, just outside the Peter and Susan Smith Welcome Center. They were laughing hysterically, and they shared that our former VP of Advancement was giving a golf cart ride to one of the lead candidates for president and hit a pole outside the Welcome Center. I said, well, that guy won't be back. By the grace of God, that was not Dr. Frampton and Tanya. Just outside the Welcome Center and in the quad stands our beautiful bell tower. Every 30 minutes we hear the chimes, and those chimes remind us of the quote that is also on the bell tower from Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. I feel this verse speaks to the mission of the University of Dubuque. As the Israelites struggled, so does the university at times, and so do the students we serve. But God reminds us that through it all we will prosper. Dr. Frampton's arrival here on campus, his belief in the UD mission, his energy, his forward thinking, and his building programs that ensure students will be relevant to society upon graduation. In these things, he gives us hope for a bright future. Dr. Frampton, thank you for saying yes to the University Board of Trustees. Thank you for leading the University of Dubuque. I think I speak for all my colleagues when I say we look forward to working by your side to keep the momentum in our courageous adventurings and continue to create meaningful lives of purpose for many years to come.
To the past, present, and future alumni of UD, the future is very bright. Together, with our time, our talents, and our resources, we can continue to elevate UD to the next level. President Frampton, my wife and I are especially grateful for the friendship we are building with your beautiful wife and my man Brody. A few months ago, we've had the privilege of gathering in your backyard, and we were in awe by a simple yet profound game. We watched you, not as the president, but as a father playing with your son and our 4 beautiful children. A simple game of Frisbee taught my wife and I a valuable lesson in life. In the game of Frisbee, the person holding the Frisbee has the most power. But when you choose to throw it and you share it, you empower others to join you and you create a sense of belonging. President Frampton, I encourage you to keep sharing the Frisbee with your colleagues and everyone near you. Stay focused on what the Lord is calling you to do. Remember, He has the perfect plan for you. You just need to listen and execute it to your best abilities. Also, with your amazing family and your colleagues, be present, empower others, and continue to build a community where everyone feels like they belong. To all of us connected to UD, let's do the same. Let's share what we have, empower one another, and work together to carry this institution forward. The future of UD is very bright, and together we will make it even brighter. God bless you, President Frampton.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm speaking to you today as the Student Government Vice President. It's an honor to stand before you on behalf of the student body as we officially welcome our new president, Dr. Frampton, to the University of Dubuque. I'm truly honored to be standing up here before all of you, and I'm excited for what lies ahead. Inaugurations are moments of transition, not just for leadership, but for vision, energy, and community. As students, we live at the heart of this campus every single day. In classrooms and labs, on fields and stages, and in clubs and conversations that shape the pulse of our college life. And in this moment, we're excited to look ahead with hope, with questions, and with open minds. But first, let's talk about the past. The University of Dubuque has had 11 presidents since its founding year in 1852, and today we add one more to that list. This inauguration marks a huge moment in the history of the University of Dubuque. President Frampton, you're stepping into a role that means more than just administration. You're stepping into a story, one built by generations of students, faculty, and staff who have believed in the power of education. This power allows us to challenge, to uplift, and to change lives. And today, we welcome your chapter into our story. As we honor the legacy that brought us here, we also turn our eyes to the future. A future that will be shaped not only by the challenges we face, but by the opportunities that we embrace together. Every chapter in the University of Dubuque's story has been defined by bold ideas and the people who believed in them. Now, President Frampton, with you at the helm, we believe and begin writing the next chapter. One we hope will be filled with innovation, compassion, and a deep commitment to the students who are at the heartbeat of this institution. We look forward to a presidency that listens, that dares to imagine, and that works side by side with students to build a community where everyone belongs and thrives. Because at the end of the day, what makes this place great isn't just our traditions. It's our willingness to evolve while staying true to our core values. I've been fortunate to work closely with President Frampton in the recent months and have already gotten to see all of the amazing ideas he has that will continue to evolve our community. So, on behalf of the students, thank you, President Frampton, for stepping into this role with courage and a vision. We're glad you're here, and we cannot wait to build the future of the University of Dubuque together. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Stoma, and I am speaking on behalf of the College of the Future. I am a sophomore here at UD studying environmental science and science education. I have lived in Dubuque my whole life and planned on moving away from college. UD was the last tour I took, and I went in not expecting to like it. On that tour, I met Dr. Haverland and Dr. Hoffman, who both changed my perspective on college. I realized that college is more than just learning. It is about making meaningful relationships. Starting on my very first day on campus, I've had many honest conversations with faculty and staff, allowing discovery of common interests. This small school that I drove past once a week was something that I connected with in a way that I never thought I would. The College of the Future needs more professors and administrators that care enough about the students to create connections outside of the textbook or lecture hall. President Frampton is an excellent example of this in the ways he shows up at band concerts, basketball games, and everything else in between. While at these events, he is not just a spectator. Instead, he finds ways to learn about students by engaging with their interests. The other part of UD that pulled me in was all the educational spaces UD has to offer. As a science major student, I was drawn to the Walter Woods and Prairies and saw it as a space to continue collaborative learning. In high school, I was extremely involved in robotics, a space that allowed me to learn more about myself. Through interactions with President Frampton, I have noticed that he takes student ideas and turns them into actions. UD students are the future, and colleges need presidents like Dr. Frampton to transform the educational space to fit student needs. So, I want to say thank you to President Frampton for making these changes happen and transforming the educational space for all students at UD.
As successes, but to actually lead in this space, to become something different, to become relevant to the needs that are around us. I think in the future, classrooms will need to be vehicles for students to be able to learn by doing, getting away from dispensing information and allowing that mind to work creatively in these innovative spaces where they are the center of that learning process. The way in which we're evolving as a society, the colleges of the future will need to be accessible, they'll need to be affordable, and most importantly, I think they'll need to be relevant. Relevant to what the student wants to do, able to deliver on the programs and the access to human resources like faculty and staff to support them along the way.
We value hands-on experience. The walls of our classroom extend to the environment, whether that's Walter Woods, whether that's internships with local companies. The learning you do in the classroom has to be extended to the community, or it isn't true learning. Everything we do at the University of Dubuque is student-centered. Every time I see a student, I ask them, how's it going, what's going well, and what can we improve? The Momentum campaign holds the amazing ability to improve the learning for every single student on campus right now and every single student that will step foot on campus into the future.
My name's Lizzie Borton. I'm a senior nursing major. I'm from LaPorte City, Iowa. When I was little, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. Seeing how the whole healthcare team impacted not only my mom's needs, but my entire family's really helped shape the future nurse that I know I want to be. Our clinical experiences at UD really help prepare us for what the future is going to look like as a nurse. One time in clinical, I was able to take care of a patient with a tracheostomy and suction their trach. That's not something that you see every day, especially outside of an ICU setting. That made me feel really nervous. With clinical support from our instructors right next to me, I was confident in doing that skill, and we were able to debrief after the fact, so I'm even more confident for next time.
My name is Armando Dominguez. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I study flight operations. I knew that I wanted to be a pilot at a young age. As I grew up, I started to realize that it was a big investment to get into. But here at UD, I feel like I got that opportunity to follow that goal that I've always had. And I feel like I wouldn't have been able to do that anywhere else. When I first started flying, it felt unreal. I still get these overwhelming emotions. Wow, like I'm really doing this.
My name is Kayleese Toma. I am from Dubuque, Iowa. I am double majoring in environmental science and secondary science ed. Prior to learning about all the scholarships that UD had to offer, I thought I was going to have to go to a large school an hour and a half, 2 hours away to make it possible to go to school. But thanks to those scholarships, I've been able to stay in Dubuque, stay connected with my family, and continue to build the connections that I made during high school. I'm currently coaching a 5th grade robotics team at one of the public schools. One of my favorite things with working with kids is seeing them learn and watching that light bulb turn on, guiding them to the answer and helping them figure out what would be the best way to solve something. Teaching those problem solving and leadership skills, the coach position is probably one of my favorite things.
My name is Jacob Williams. I'm from Dubuque, Iowa, and I'm majoring in environmental science. I have many siblings, and we would spend a lot of our childhood in the woods, outside, engaging with each other. And I feel like by learning more, I go deeper and deeper in my purpose of interacting with my surroundings. I feel like being a student athlete, you get more responsibility, but I feel like that builds character. And the teachers and coaches are there to help you along the way. I kind of find peace in both sides of being in the wilderness and high stress situations in the basketball game. And I just feel like that's just part of everything that I want.
So much in higher education, we talk about what this can do for me, what I'll be able to do with this major, how much I'll be able to earn. And those are all important questions. They should be asked, but we are falling short of connecting it to the needs that we have around us. And if education does not have as its ultimate end making society better, making lives for human beings better, it's something without purpose. Education has purpose when it helps other people. And at the mission of the University of Dubuque connects that all the way back to the Christian tradition, serving other people, connecting talents and gifts with the needs around you. This is the moment. Many gifts, one spirit, one mission, one campaign. This is our moment. Join us.
Thank you for that video, because I didn't want to follow those two students. So
appreciate that very much. Travis, since 1936, the president of the University of Dubuque has worn the chain and medallion that our chair is holding for formal occasions, and it serves as a symbol of authority vested in the president by the Board of Trustees. As you know, according to Joel Samuel's Child of the Church, in 1920, the University of Dubuque that we know today was spawned by the German Presbyterian Theological School of the Northwest. And it is still the case that we remain as the only school in the Presbyterian Church USA that is both a theological seminary and a college together. And of no surprise, a condensed version of that history is embedded in the chain and medallion of which you become the caretaker today. On the front of this medallion is a man in a toga. Thank God we wear robes and not togas today. And he's standing in the front of a globe with arms stretched in welcome. While the top of the front side of the medallion declares our unified name, the University of Dubuque, the foundation upon which the university rests declares, serves the whole church and the world. When we flip the medallion to its other side, that foundational message is reinforced and represented by a modified Jerusalem cross, at the top of which are the words, Adrian Van Vliet, founder, resting again on the foundation of President Van Vliet's life, Christ himself, the chief cornerstone. In today's very secular academic environment in so many places, it's easy and sometimes convenient to forget that since its founding, the University of Dubuque has chosen to take the road less traveled by serving both the church and the world. Today, many colleges and universities have chosen to forget that they were founded by the church to bring the light of Christ into an increasingly darkened and confused world. And who among us can't agree that we so desperately need that light today? Therefore, Travis, the weight of this chain and medallion is a subtle reminder that you, now our 12th president, have been chosen to bear that responsibility and to share in that joy. Each one of your 11 predecessors has confronted unexpected challenges, has overcome significant obstacles, and yet, to varying degrees, has continued to do their part to strengthen the foundational commitments of this place since 1852. And now, 170 years since our founding, the line of leadership succession passes on to you. Mancherlei Gabend und ein Geist, various gifts but one spirit, and it goes on, all serving the church and the world. Travis, congratulations, and God bless you.
So before I get into the medallion, I had a great speech written. It was fantastic. But every one of the 12 people that just spoke before me took something of it. So I'm not going to bore you with any more details. It's been my pleasure as current chairman of the Board of Trustees to serve with Travis. Just happens that my term started the exact same day his term started. So we're both kind of rookies at this position in this particular location. It also was my privilege and honor to serve on the search committee. And as I've said before groups, we were able to pick the right person at the right time for the right place. And so that is our Travis. Congratulations. Now, for the medallion, By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Dubuque, I hereby confer upon you, Travis L. Frampton, the office of President of the University of Dubuque, with all rights, responsibilities, and privileges pertaining thereto.
I first met Dr. Frampton while working as an adjunct professor at Hardin-Simmons University in Abilene, Texas, about a couple of decades ago. My initial impression of him was, I hated him. First of all, he had just been hired for a position that I'd been working my butt off for the last 10 years to get. They skipped over me to hire him. Secondly, look at him. He looks like he should be on the cover of the GQ magazine. Thirdly, he was the starting quarterback of his high school football team back in Alabama. Now, it's not that I automatically dislike high school quarterbacks, but as a nerd, I've always felt a little superior in the fact that I could at least maintain the illusion that I was smarter than them. Dr. Frampton was not only a great athlete, but he was a Fulbright scholar, making a major contribution to the study of the philosopher Spinoza. So yeah, I hated him. But obviously, one of the reasons why I'm standing here before you today is that I didn't just grow to accept him as a colleague, but to love him as one of my dearest friends. I have a bit of an impossible task at this moment. Dr. Frampton has made it clear that I only have 8 minutes to speak. I'm going to try to only use 7 of them, but during this short time, I feel compelled to try to convey to you why I remain his biggest fan. To that end, I want to share with you an important lesson he taught me, and then I'm going to tell you a story. As Dr. Frampton rose in the ranks at Hardin-Simmons, he soon developed a reputation for thinking creatively about education, particularly the big picture. Believe it or not, this is not something as a faculty member that I thought about or even cared about much. I loved my subject. I loved teaching. I loved the work that I did in the classroom. I loved scholarship. I loved writing. And as long as the institution left me alone to do my job, I was happy. But Dr. Frampton wasn't satisfied with just teaching classes. Like an annoying toddler, he kept walking around everywhere asking why. Why this? Why that? In particular, what was the why of Hardin-Simmons? Why does it exist? What does it stand for? His peregrination led him on a sabbatical where he researched one of the founders of the school, James B. Simmons. And when he returned, he resurrected stories that had long been forgotten. In particular, that Simmons was a visionary before his time. He risked his life speaking out against slavery and founded 7 colleges for freed slaves in the South. In addition to these, he founded Simmons College, which became Hardin-Simmons University, charging it with a mandate to reach students overlooked by the rest of society. Dr. Frampton often quoted 2 questions Simmons loved to challenge people with. Number 1, what is the greatest thought that ever occupied your mind? And number 2, what is your duty toward fulfilling it? With this, Dr. Frampton reinvigorated our campus with a new sense of purpose. This, I believe, is one of Dr. Frampton's greatest gifts. It is the big lesson he taught me. He made me think beyond the classroom, to consider what does the institution stand for, what moral mandate makes it worthy of our investment of time and money, and how does what I do contribute to that mandate. That said, I can assure you his perspective has changed over the years. Back in the day, Dr. Frampton and I, along with another dear friend, Dr. Dan Stiver, would regularly get together for lunch at the local Subway, where we would talk about all the things that were wrong with the university and what needed to be done to fix them if the evil administrators would just listen to us. Later, Dr. Frampton joined the dark side and became one of those evil administrators, sparking a discussion between Dr. Stiver and I about whether Professor Frampton would get along with President Frampton. I assure you he would not. That said, you know it's right. That said, I trust and would eagerly follow President Frampton and his leadership, because deep down inside he is a man of empathy, love, and compassion for the people he serves. And he has proven himself to be a star in the classroom. Some leaders lead with brute force, others with soft words and carrots, still others with fear or kindness or flattery or manipulation. And maybe a good leader uses a little bit of all of those things in order to make a vision a reality. Honestly, I don't know. But I can tell you this. Travis made me want to be a better professor. And he challenged me to see that what I did in the classroom contributed to a larger, nobler vision for the university. And now the story. My last semester as a full-time professor at Hardin-Simmons University was the spring of this year. I took a group of 10 students to London, where we spent 3 months immersing ourselves in the culture and history. While there, I learned about Christopher Wren, who, believe it or not, I had never heard of before. But he is the famous architect who built all of the grand structures, or many of the grand structures in England, including one of the crown jewels of London, St. Paul's Cathedral. I spent many days worshiping there, including Ash Wednesday, where I sat transfixed by a standing censer with burning incense in it. And it created this column of smoke that went up into the dome and formed a cloud. And behind the cloud, as if peering down from heaven, were gilded figures from the Bible, including the 4 evangelists. It was a medieval special effects show, and it gave me chills. This was Christopher Wren's brainchild. And there's a parable associated with Wren. Purportedly, it was one he told often to groups about his work, though there's no evidence of this. Nonetheless, like the apocryphal story of Washington chopping down the cherry tree, it captures his essence. And I believe it captures the essence of Dr. Frampton as well. And it's called the parable of the stonecutters. It goes like this. A long time ago in the Middle Ages, there was a boy who was curious about a local quarry. And so he snuck into it in order to see what was going on. And while there, he saw a man with a pickaxe who was chipping away at a large stone. And he walked up to the man and said, "What are you doing?" The man wiped the sweat from his brow, looked down at the boy and said, "Well, what's it look like I'm doing, kid? Making bricks." And he shooed him away. The boy walked a little bit farther down the road and saw a man, a driver, in a wagon, and they were loading a large stone in the back of it. And he walked up to the man and said, "Well, what are you doing?" And the man looked down with a gentle smile and said, "Putting food on the table, making a paycheck." And then he flicked the reins, and the wagon went down the road. And then he noticed another man, an older gentleman on the other side of the road. And he had a hammer and a chisel, and he was chipping away at a large block of marble. and he would stand back and look at it and chip in another place. And the boy walked up to him and said, "Well, what are you doing?" And the man puffed out his chest and smiled broadly and said, "Son, I'm building a cathedral." Building a cathedral. You see, though Dr. Frampton never used these exact words, this is the big lesson he taught me. That the work I'm doing in the classroom is part of a larger, nobler, and dare I say it, glorious endeavor. And so, as Dr. Frampton comes now to address us, let us remember, students, staff, faculty, administrators, trustees, alumni, and friends, together we are building a cathedral. And now join me in welcoming the 12th president of the University of Dubuque, Dr. Travis L. Frampton.
Thank you very much. I learned a lot about our relationship, Kelly, that I did not know. Thank you, Charlie, for your words and your friendship, and for allowing me to work at a university that allowed me to enter with hope. Thank you to the Board of Trustees for providing me with an opportunity to lead the University of Dubuque. Strong leadership at the board level has given us clear direction and focus on mission. If you're a trustee of the University of Dubuque, would you please stand to be recognized? Thank you also to President Emeritus Jeffrey Bullock. Jeff, your leadership at this university has been nothing short of remarkable. If we are experiencing momentum and energy with anticipation of what's next, it's because of your administration and this board together for 26 strong years. Thank you, Jeff. To our faculty, staff, students, alumni, and community partners, you are all part of the success of this university, and I thank you. And to my family and friends who have traveled to Dubuque, your presence today makes this moment even more special. And finally, to my wife, Tanya, and our three boys, Blake, Benjamin, and Brody, thank you for supporting me. Would you please stand, the Blake, Brody, Ben, and Tanya? And Blake, Ben, and Brody, you three have influenced my thinking about learning and education more than anyone else. If I have anything good to say today, it's because I've learned it from you. If I don't say anything good today, I still love you. Today is not so much about a single presidency as it is about the continuation of a story, one that began in 1852, a story 173 years in the making. In your hands, you will find a tessera. If you did not pick up a tessera, you can get one on the way out, but I hope that many of you have a tessera. If not, you have an imaginary one, because you will be given one. But in your hands, you hold a tessera, a small fragment of glass or stone. On its own, it may seem ordinary, fragile, even insignificant. But when joined with others, it becomes a part of something far greater, a mosaic. A mosaic is practical and inspiring at the same time. It tells a story, and as we know, stories can change lives. Early Christians of the Greco-Roman world knew this well. They gathered broken, ordinary fragments to tell extraordinary stories. And we at UD know the importance of mosaics too. One have served us well for all these years. The piece you hold is over 100 years old in the making. You're holding history, history that has happened, history that has yet to happen, so don't discard it. It was meant for one of the world's largest collections of mosaics in a domed cathedral, but was never used. Left behind, it became a remnant of past potential. And yet it is a story that is not finished. You now hold in your hand the opportunity to give it new purpose by making it a part of UD's mosaic. Here at the University of Dubuque, we are making meaning out of science and art in community. We are making a mosaic. A university is much like a mosaic. Both require a delicate balance of science and art. For a university, its tessera, its tiny bits, are people, students, faculty, staff, alumni, trustees, and community members, each unique, each necessary, each part of the whole. Together, we create something larger than themselves, a wonderful compilation of story tiles, a living mosaic for the sake of building better communities for generations to come. We are just 2 years away from our 175th anniversary. To commemorate this milestone, a large mosaic will be installed on our campus. It will capture the spirit of who we have been, who we are, and who we are becoming. When you leave today, I ask you place your tessera in one of the bowls provided. The bowls will look something like this as you exit the auditorium. Your fragment will be included in that artwork, transforming remnants of the past into symbols of our shared future. Every mosaic needs an artist to design it and bring the pieces together in order to create meaning. We have our artist. He is one of the leading mosaicists in the world, and he is with us today. Gary Drossel, would you please stand to be recognized? You may be familiar with some of his work. He has at least 2 pieces installed on the campus of the University of Iowa in the Student Health and Wellness Center. UD has hosted Gary for almost 2 weeks. He has been among us to learn about UD, our history, both past and present. He has been among us to learn about what UD means to students, to faculty, and our staff. He's also traveled around Dubuque to get a sense of place, people, geography, and culture. He's, in a sense, been collecting our stories. So all of you here are like the tessera you're holding. You are the right individual, in the right place, and at the right time. If you are here today, you are a part of our story. So upon exiting today, if you would place your tessera, that living individual piece that represents you, into the bowl, it will be given a new purpose and future similar to the original purpose of becoming part of a gilded cathedral. It will become a part of another sacred space at the University of Dubuque in our Cathedral of Learning. Your piece will be used to construct the large installation to be unveiled and dedicated 2 years from now during our 175th anniversary. Gary will be just outside after the inauguration is completed and will be available to meet you for you to share, if you'd like, what UD means to you and what you think he should know about our story. So here's my tessera. let me share a bit about my story. My own journey here is tied to a story many of you from Dubuque and Dyersville know well. Did you hear that? No, seriously, did you hear it? Okay. I absolutely love the movie, Field of Dreams. Perhaps even more powerful than the movie is the book Shoeless Joe by W.P. Kinsella. The story is just plain compelling, powerful, and moving. Not yet. Much of that film was made here in and around Dubuque. Some scenes filmed right here on our campus. The University of Dubuque is forever part of our Field of Dreams lore. When I came to UD, one of the very first things I did after arriving in Iowa was to take my son Brody to Dyersville to walk the field, to breathe in the place, and to have a catch, father and son. I also went there to dream about being the president of the University of Dubuque, where the Field of Dreams was interlaced with a field of possibility. No, it's Iowa. Now, the reason I asked Shoeless Joe, better known as Dennis Rima, to come out here was because Dennis was one of the first spontaneous interactions I had with the University of Dubuque, and I didn't know it at the time. We were in Dyersville, Brody and I were there, and I saw Shoeless Joe talking to other kids, and I asked Brody, go up and talk to the ghost player. No, I don't want to do that. And I encouraged him, and eventually he went up there. And what was so remarkable about Dennis was the way in which, and he had no idea who I was. He saw Brody wearing a University of Dubuque shirt and said, oh, the University of Dubuque. And he started up a conversation, not with me, but with my son. And his ability to see the student, to see him on his own merit and on his own worth. So for me, Dennis represents the best of what the University of Dubuque represents. That was taken a little over a year ago, and he asked Brody, is your dad the president of the University of Dubuque? Brody said yes. And we started talking, and Dennis asked me what Gary was worried about making a mistake. Are you related to Peter Frampton? What Gary told me as he shook my hand, I didn't say Peter. So please join me in thanking Dennis, because it's not just Dennis. Dennis embodied what is so good about this place, the University of Dubuque. But the incredible thing is he's not alone. If you're a faculty and staff or a staff member here at the University of Dubuque, would you please stand? So students, unlike a ghost player in the film some people could not see, sometimes it's hard to see those around you at the University of Dubuque that are there to see you for who you are. So you have people surrounding you that are here and invested in your life. Thank you, Dennis. So I don't hear voices, at least not yet. But I do dream of futures others say are impossible. Dreams that, if realized, might tilt the world ever toward the good. And since beginning my new role more than a year ago, on June 1st, 2024, I have dreamed of what the University of Dubuque could look like. This university is a knowledge enterprise that embraces innovation, discovery, and hands-on learning to prepare students to meet the challenges of our time. At UD, this vision is coming to life in bold and exciting ways. In this past year, the university is in the midst of relevant breakthrough transformation related to student learning and is meeting the needs of our communities on a local, regional, and national level. The launch of the John and Alice Butler College of Osteopathic Medicine builds on UD's existing strengths in nursing and physician assistant education to address the growing shortage of primary care physicians in our region and across the nation. The Butler gift will help Iowa especially by providing more physicians to serve our rural communities. Our medical school will become the first one to be established in Iowa in more than 125 years. And so I imagine that over the course of that time, Iowa's health care needs have increased exponentially. And our medical school is happening at the right time in the right place. Our 51-year aviation program, now home to more than 500 students, is preparing the next generation of pilots at a time when the aviation industry faces a critical pilot shortage. UD is expanding the physical footprint of the Babka Aviation Learning Center. We are also introducing new engineering program with pathways in mechanical, electrical, software engineering, and civil engineering, fields that are driving the future of innovation, especially within this region. These efforts are complemented by the creation of the 75,000 square feet Clappity Center for Innovation, made possible through the extraordinary vision and generosity of a $35 million transformational gift from Joe and Linda Clappity. Designed as a space where students primarily learn by doing, the center will be featured and will have project-based experiential learning studios equipped with cutting-edge technology to foster creativity, collaboration, and design. So people and places are very important. Since arriving in Dubuque, I have come to see the University of Dubuque as a field of dreams in its own right, a place where people come to dream, to be inspired, to learn about life, to learn of the power of redemption and the importance of relationships. There is a passage from Shoeless Joe, the novel that inspired the movie, that resonated deeply with me when I read it about a month ago at the silent request of Dr. Jean Rupert, who left a copy on my desk. Because in many respects, Ray's words, Kevin Costner's character, capture precisely how I have felt in my first year as president of the University of Dubuque. This passage recounts an exchange between Ray Kinsella, Kevin Costner, and the character Terrence Mann, James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones. When Ray is asked everything that is possible in his cornfield, when Terrence is inquiring him about it, Ray says, "There is a magic about it. You have to be there to feel the magic." What is the magic you keep talking about? It's the place and the time. The right place and the right time. Iowa is the right place. And the time is right, too. A time when all the cosmic tumblers have clicked into place and the universe opens for a few seconds or hours and shows you what is possible. And what do you see? What do you feel? Your mind stops, hangs suspended, and you feel a sensation of wonder, of awe, a tingling, a shortness of breath. And then you not only see, but hear and smell and taste and touch whatever is closest to your heart's desire, your secret dreams, grow up through you in leafy wonder and finally sprout through your skin, gentle and soft and wondrous, and they breathe and have a life of their own. Thank God for Iowa. That passage captures precisely what I have felt since being here. Iowa is the right place, and the time is right too. At UD, all the cosmic tumblers are clicking into place, and the universe opens for a few seconds or hours to show us what's possible. Universities should be places for students to believe in what others cannot yet see. That is the human longing, to believe in the impossible, to have eyes to see what is really there, even when others cannot, to see what is really there, even though no one else can see it. A quote from Edgar Allan Poe has always stayed with me. They who dream by day are cognizant of the many things which escape those who dream only by night. His words remind me of the same truth. To lead is to dream awake, to see possibility before it takes shape, and to teach others how to see. Do you have eyes to see? Do you have ears to hear? Universities should be places where faculty, staff, and students come to learn how to see the world differently, how to see it redemptively, for goodness sake. Yes, I am a dreamer. And when I think about how I came to be here today, I know that high school students from Dubuque helped make this day possible for me. During the presidential search, I was in my third interview. Up to that point in the process, I thought it had gone fairly well. But I couldn't read the committee's interest in me. You guys were good. Stoic. About 45 minutes in that third interview, the questions tapered off. Suzanne Price, the chair of the search committee, asked if anyone had anything else to say. No one spoke. We had about 15 minutes to go or finish early. So I am who I am. Doug. I broke the silence. And I said, I have something to share. I'd like to share an example of what I would do if I were to become president. Probably should have started with that. I told them what I had learned about students right here in Dubuque at Hempstead and Senior High who had dared to dream that robotics could be something more than a club. They imagined a future where a robotics team could inspire and empower students across Iowa. And then they acted with the help of a local Iowa State senator. They organized, helped promote legislation, and this past May, Governor Reynolds signed their bill into law. Robotics is now formally recognized as a career and technical student organization in the state of Iowa. The Department of Education must provide support, and schools across Iowa can now sponsor robotic competitions. I told the committee, this is a Dubuque story. This is a Dubuque win. And the leaders of tomorrow are among us. Do you have eyes to see? Do you have ears to hear? Them. That is remarkable leadership, in my opinion. Students in Dubuque shaping statewide policy. They may not realize it yet, but they are modeling what the colleges of the future should look like. Their work is not just about robots, it's about people working together in competitive environments toward shared goals. It's about discovering what the robotics students call, and I love this phrase, cooperation. Cooperation. The ability to compete and cooperate at the same time. That is something colleges still struggle with. Too often our institutions only know how to compete. But what if we learn from the example of these students? I know I have learned much from them. What if we became an enmeshed web of shared resources and opportunities working together to serve students better all across Iowa and all across this region? Their story is impactful. This community in Dubuque has one of the strongest, best positioned, and best resourced K-12 pipelines of robotics students in the state of Iowa. And these students are showing us what is possible. They hold the key to what learning spaces of the future must become, places where content may be ubiquitous, but wisdom, prudence, and empathy will still need cultivation. Places where students learn by doing, side by side, solving real problems together. Like Ray in Field of Dreams, these students heard their own whisper. If you build it, and they acted upon it. Their story reminds us that vision alone is not enough. You must step forward, you must build, you must believe. And when you do, communities are transformed. So thank you, Kayleese, and the robotics team in Dubuque. You may not know it yet, but the leadership you provided by your team gave me words to speak in that interview, and who knows, perhaps even gave me the opportunity to stand here today. More importantly, you, your peers, and your teachers and coaches have shown us what the future of education can and should look like. You changed Iowa for the better, and you have challenged all of us to dream bigger, build together, and create spaces where possibility is possible, where spaces where possibility lives. So here's my tessera. I've shared a bit of my story, but before I go, I have a few more people to thank. In the film, the story ends with a father and son having a catch. In the novel, Ray has a brother. In the film, it's his brother-in-law, but in the novel, Ray has a brother. And at the end of the novel, the two brothers connect with their father to throw their baseball. That version, for me personally, is closer to reality. Thank you, Brian, for coming today to support your brother. I appreciate you more than you know. My father, who is here, was born in Iowa. He enlisted in the Air Force, became an air traffic controller, aviation students, met my mom, and together they raised two boys in Alabama. Dad, I want to take a moment of personal privilege to thank you. When I was in high school, I felt a call to the ministry. I wanted to dedicate my life to God. But college seemed impossible, financially out of reach, unless I played football. I was a tight end instead of a quarterback. You might have missed that on your hate speech against me. I'm a tight end, defensive end. Anyway, we'll finish that up later. But the only way we thought it was possible is if I played football on scholarship or joined the military. Thank you, Ben, for your service. So we talked about it, and you were uncertain how it could happen. but you found a way. You and Mom sacrificed, navigated the headaches, endured the pain, and made it possible for me to go to college, to continue being a dreamer. So for me, this day, this moment, this presidency, this university would not have been possible for me without you and Mom. So, Dad, the story of UD has brought you back to Iowa too. Your own story, your Iowa story, is now full circle, and it is part of UD's mosaic too. So here's my tessera. I would like to recognize the students who played a role in the video earlier to stand to be recognized. Stay standing. Stay standing. And now I would like the students of the University of Dubuque in attendance here today, please stand during this final scene. Remain standing. And now, I would like to invite our favorite ghost player back to the stage, Shoeless Joe, Dennis Rima. As Shoeless Joe, mesmerized by the magical baseball diamond nestled in a cornfield, asked Ray in the movie, "Is this heaven?" Ray paused and answered, "No, it's Iowa." I agree, it is Iowa, and it is the University of Dubuque. Now I'm going to ask Shoeless Joe to ask his question again. And this performance is on you students, so don't let me down. Please. When he says, "Is this heaven?" you respond, "No, it's the University of Dubuque." You got it? We're going to do this one without ChatGPT. All right, so here we go. Loud, let the faculty hear it. Ready?
Is this heaven? No, it's the University of Dubuque.
Outstanding. And that is how I feel about the University of Dubuque right now, in this moment, a place caught between Iowa and heaven. The cosmic tumblers are clicking into place. The time is right. This is the place, and you are part of the mosaic we are building. Amen. So, this is an awkward moment. It's like, do we join the students? I want to say it's heaven too, kind of like Dubuque. So here's what I need. Students, thank you for your participation. You may be seated. I want to take a moment to introduce you to the final act of today. And I'm a boy ultimately from Alabama. I love that state. I'm learning to love Iowa, as you can tell. But in Alabama, and I know this is true of Iowa too, you don't take yourself too seriously. At least it's not respectable to. So the group that's coming was here last year. They are outstanding. They represented to me excellence. and they don't take themselves seriously. So Newfangled 4 to me represents what leadership should look like. Newfangled 4.
Thank you so much. We are the Newfangled 4, and yeah, you might be wondering why is a barbershop quartet from Southern California here in Dubuque, Iowa. Well, we were here last year, like it was previously stated, and President Frampton said, hey, we'd love to have you back, and he's a man of his word, and we're back. So we were asked to do a couple custom songs, and so this first song, it's important to remember where you came from and your connections to where you came from. So what better place to sing a song about Alabama than Dubuque, Iowa? Hope you enjoy.
1, 2, 3. Ding ding, ba ding ding, do sitting do da 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 dum down, ba dum down, dum down,
Turn it up,
dum down, ba dum down, ba dum down, sitting da 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 dum down, ba dum down, dum down,
Big wheels keep on turning.
Sitting do da 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 dum down,
Carry me home to see my kids.
back at the bow,
Singing songs about the Southland.
Once again, and I'm afraid to sing. Ding ding, take it, Jackson.
Well, I heard Mr. Young sing about her. Well, I heard O'Neill put it down. Well, I hope Neil Young will remember. Southern man don't need him around anyhow.
Sweet home Alabama, bang diddle diddle down, where the skies are so blue. Shooting da sweet home Alabama, down sugar down. Lord, I'm coming home to you. Whoa, whoa, bow down, 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 down,
In Birmingham, they love the governor.
boo, boo, do,
Now we all did what we could do. Now Watergate does not bother me.
Does your conscience bother you? Tell them, shout out, sweet home Alabama, about it, where the skies are so blue. Sweet home Alabama, about it, Lord, I'm coming home to you. Take it, Jackson. Bow, whoa, something, chicka-ding-ding, 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 chicka-ding-ding. Muscle shows he's got the swampers. Do-do-do-do-do-do. And they've been known to pick a song or two. Yes, they do. Lord, they get me off so much. They pick me up when I'm feeling good. Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are so blue. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you. Change it up, change it up. Sweet home Dubuque, Iowa. Down, where the skies are so blue. Sweet home Dubuque, Iowa. Down, Lord, I'm coming home to you. Whoa, whoa, yeah.
Thank you so much. We've got just one more for you. This is also a special request. Now, if you might have noticed that President Frampton has the same last name as Peter Frampton, and wouldn't you believe it, he's a fan. So he asked us to do this Peter Frampton song, Show Me the Way.
1, 2, 3. Do 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 do. Well, da 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 da. Dum 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 dum. Down 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 dum 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 dum. Down 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 down. Wonder how you're feeling. It's ringing in my ears. No one to relate to sadness. Who cannot believe in? I'm kneeling on the floor. There has to be a force. Who do I for? The stars are out and shining. But all I really want to know is, won't you show me the way, show me the way I want you, bang, show me the way, da 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 dum 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 dum. Well, I can't see no reason you're living on your nerves. When someone drops a cup, eyes open, I'm swimming in a circle. I feel I'm going down. There has to be a fool to play my part and to play my part. Someone thought of healing, but all I really want to know, should thou won't you show me the way, show me the way I want you, show me the way, you show me the way I want you, bang, day after day after I want you. All right, so when we say I want you, you say, show me the way. Show me the way. I want you. Show me the way. I want you. Show me the way. I want you. Last chance. Show me the way. The way I want you. Show me the way.
Much joy. Friends, before we receive the closing benediction, there is a special commemoration to share. As we have heard so clearly from President Frampton today, we're called to lead and serve in the bold and faithful mission that is the University of Dubuque. And as you are sent out from this inauguration of our new president and into a new chapter, you will receive a commemorative bracelet. A small symbol that carries a powerful message on it, courageous adventurings. May it serve as a reminder of the courageous adventurings that have brought us to this moment here today and the ones that lie ahead. President Frampton, would you come forward and you will receive the first bracelet? We have a charge and blessing offered for Dr. Travis Frampton, President of the University of Dubuque. Dr. Travis Frampton, child of God. May your leadership be animated by a holy restlessness that stirs this university toward great fruitfulness. May your vision recognize in all members of the UD community the many gifts given by the one Spirit for the common good. May your direction guide others to become signs of God's kingdom of flourishing and shalom. May your service be marked by energy, intelligence, imagination, and love that lifts up one's neighbor and gives glory to God. And in all of these, may you be given extra measures of courage and hope and wisdom and discernment and faith and perseverance and strength and joy. And be assured that you do not set out alone, but with the presence of the triune God and with this good company. And let us all stand with President Frampton, and we will remain standing through our alma mater and the recessional. Receive these ancient words. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace now and always. Amen.